Today's episode of Dallas Mavericks Today is presented by Aura, an all-in-one digital safety tool to keep you safe and secure online because hackers are getting more and more prevalent. Start your free trial today at aura.com/chatsports. That is aura.com/chatsports, a 14-day free trial. They have a ton of benefits with their service, so go check them out right now. Okay, so the other day we caught you guys up on the latest around Colin Sexton, a potential fit for him. Myself and producer Jeffrey Cooperstein, he'll be involved on today's show as well. Today, we're going to talk about another guard that could be coming to Dallas. That is Dennis Schroder. Mark Stein kind of loosely mentioned him as a potential fit with Dallas, said that the Mavs have expressed interest in the veteran guard. He was talking more about the Lakers' interest. Now, that was before the Pat Beverly trade went down, so I don't know if Schroder is still on the Lakers' radar as of now. But I've always had interest in Schroder from afar. Now, last season, 13.5 points, 4.5 assists, 43% from the field, 34.4% from three. He certainly played better with Boston than he did with Houston. Of course, got sent to Houston in a trade before the NBA trade deadline. But Dennis Schroder has been a productive guard in this league for many, many years. And we'll bring Coop in now and kind of chop it up back and forth here. But Jeffrey, obviously there's a lot of factors here. We'll get to the Dirk thing here in a little bit because we know that they have some history, but you need a third guard. Dennis Schroder has seemed to be a guy willing to come off the bench in the past, 6th man of the year guy. I'm interested if Dirk signs off on it, I guess I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. The Mavs need a third guard. It's something we've talked about ad nauseum all summer long.
Yep.
I think they've explored some possibilities in the trade and free agency market that for whatever reason haven't worked out. Schroder would be a quick fix to what they need. He provides defense. He's an okay three-point shooter, and he can get to the rim. So he provides that third guard that the Mavs need. They wouldn't need him to play super heavy minutes, but he could be a welcome addition to the squad.
Yeah, I mean, 25 minutes a game is like a six-man type. You could bring him and Hardaway as your bench backcourt. I like that quite a bit. He seems to be a guy that, maybe has ruffled feathers in locker rooms in the past, but I think for the most part, he's been a quality player on most of the teams he's been on. Quite frankly, I thought he was playing a nice role for Boston last year, which is why I was surprised he got dealt at the NBA trade deadline. Obviously, that ended up working out for Boston. Derek White had a big playoff run, but he's done some good things in his career, and he certainly isn't someone who doesn't have anything left in the tank here.
Yeah, exactly. He's still right around 30, so he has plenty of good years left in him, and I was surprised as well that Boston traded him. I guess they got Daniel Tice back in that deal,
Sure.
Who ended up being a big piece for them in the playoffs, but he can play a role on a big team. I mean, he played with the Lakers, I believe, 2 years ago when they were good, and he's been on good teams before. He was on some teams with Atlanta who were good. He's bounced around a little bit. Maybe that's more of his off-the-court issues, but he's definitely still a valuable piece for the Mavs, and if he plays 20 minutes a game, you're going to get good numbers out of him.
And outside of Colin Sexton, and we'll ask you guys this question in a second, but to be honest, if you can't get Sexton, Schroeder's probably the best free agent option out there as a guy who can come off the bench and run that second-team offense. So we're going to ask you guys this question, then we'll kind of explore this topic a little bit further here on Dallas Mavericks Today. Do you want Dennis Schroder in Dallas? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. This will be the pinned comment on today's show. Do you want Schroder? Y for yes, or you can give us an N for no. More exploring here when it comes to Schroder, Coop. I think this is probably a good opportunity to mention that there's been kind of long-standing rumors that Dirk does not like Dennis Schroder. Now, I get it. Dirk doesn't play for the team anymore, but I think his voice still carries weight in this organization. In fact, I think we both know that it does.
Absolutely.
The question is how much, but, could you sit down with Dirk and be like, hey, man, listen, we need a third guard, 1-year deal. Dennis Schroder can help this team. I don't think Dirk would derail a Dennis Schroder signing now that he's not playing, but at the same time, I don't think it's something that would just not be considered here in the potential pursuit of Schroder.
Yeah, I think Dirk's opinion holds weight, but he's not the decision maker in the front office at the end of the day. They're going to value his opinion, obviously, because he is Dirk. He's the greatest player the franchise has ever seen. So they'll take what he says, and they'll weigh it pretty heavily. But at the end of the day, if they need a third guard desperately, and Schroder is the most likely outcome, they're going to go for it, I think. Maybe Schroeder's done a little bit of growing up since the last time Dirk interacted with him. I don't think him and Dirk have, a long-standing relationship where they're talking every week. So
Sure.
I could see a scenario where maybe they've, mended the bridge, so to speak. Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, for those wondering, Schroeder's also German, like Dirk. So if you're like, why would Dirk not like Dennis Schroeder? Well, there's been rumors forever that they didn't get along, international play and all kinds of stuff like that. And obviously Dirk is beloved here. So that's where that comes into play. But Dirk's been out of the league for 4 years at this point. I think you can push that to the side if you feel like Schroeder's matured and ultimately can be a positive influence on this team. A little more on Schroeder, plus stay tuned for the end of the video. We'll talk about Luka Doncic and Team Slovenia. They just finished up a game earlier today for World Cup qualifying, so stay tuned for that. But first, get going with Aura, all-in-one digital safety provider, because we do more online than we ever have. And by the way, that's increasing by the day. I do all my shopping online. My banking is all done online. I don't have any paper trails at this point. It's all digital, which is convenient, but it also kind of lends to me having unfortunate times where you could get hacked. I've actually been hacked a couple of times. I had to replace a credit card a couple of years ago. My Twitter has been compromised before, and you just don't want to deal with that. Aura provides financial fraud protection, identity theft protection, overall online and digital security, password protection. They're going to monitor all those things on the internet. And a cool thing about Aura, too, is they have plans that protect up to 5 people, family plans. So you want to throw grandma on the list? They're not coming out with the most creative passwords when they're creating their Facebook account. You can do it all today with a 14-day free trial at aura.com/chatsports. Get started today. Link is in the comments and in the description. Some of the more specifics to what Schroeder brings, we've kind of mentioned some of this. Defensive versatility. He's a bit of a bigger guard. He can guard 1s and 2s, and, he can get stuck on switches and not necessarily back down from, bigger wings and stuff like that. He's got that playmaking ability both as a scorer and as a distributor. Kind of a combo guard. He's certainly not a true point, but he's got a little Monte Ellis in him, if you will. Can start, he can come off the bench. I certainly think for this team he would come off the bench. And also, Coop, as we bring you back in here, on and off ball ability. So he can play in a closing lineup with Luka Doncic and play off the ball and still be an impactful player.
Yeah, and I think that's what the Mavs are looking for in a guy like that, where they're trying to find the versatility that they can put into multiple situations. He can close the game. You could play a 3-guard lineup with Doncic, Dinwiddie, and Schroeder if you want. Exactly. So I think at the end of the day, that's the guy they're looking for, someone who can provide them with options. And right now, they don't have that guy. I think right now, if you were to say today, who's that third guard on the Mavs roster? It's Jaden Hardy, it's Tim Hardaway. I mean, I don't know who it is. So they really need to go out and find that guy, and I think Schroeder would be a good fit.
And look, we're getting to the end of August. Training camp's less than a month away. If this all ends with you getting Dennis Schroeder, you could do a lot worse. Like, I'd rather get him than like DJ Augustine, for example, even though Mavs killer DJ Augustine is a favorite of ours. But at the end of the day, Dennis Schroeder would be a guy that I think could help this basketball team. All right, before we talk about Luka and the Slovenian boys, subscribe to us here at Mavericks Today. We got a lot of feedback of you guys wanting some Slovenia coverage, so we're going to give that to you today and moving forward, as he's got a lot of games coming up. But if you want more Mavericks rumors around the team itself as well, news, Slovenia breakdowns, and then of course once we get into training camp and into the season, we'll have real basketball coverage to break down as well. Hit that subscribe button and tell your friends. It's youtube.com/MavsTV. All right, Coop, we couldn't find a stream. These World Cup qualifiers. It's tough to track down, but we were keeping up on Twitter. A couple of clips emerged and whatnot. Slovenia, Estonia, first of 2 World Cup qualifying games for Slovenia. It was close there for a while, but Luka put together a big performance, 25 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, a classic Luka line, to be honest. 50% from the field, played in 30 minutes, and they were able to pull away with a 104-83 victory, Coop. So do we actually know, have they qualified yet, or do they need to win against Germany? Has that been determined?
I believe there's another qualifying window after this.
Okay.
So there's 2 more games, which he won't play in, obviously, because the Mavs will be in season.
Yeah.
So there's 2 more games, but they are well on their way to qualifying. They'll be a part of the World Cup next summer.
So a 21-point win today here. And hey, we had a lot of fun watching Luka last year at the Olympics. He's got the Eurobasket coming up. One more game as well, Sunday against Germany, which, by the way, Dennis Schroder will be playing in that game. So, hey, who knows? Luka's not known as a recruiter, but, hey, you want to come play here for a year? If Luka wants to poke that a little bit, can make it happen.
And look, these guys take these games seriously. These are not exhibition games.
No.
Like, they are going all out for their country. And if you saw, I don't know if you saw Tim McMahon's tweet before the game, that crowd was rowdy. So
those European crowds love their hoops. Man.
Absolutely. So it's a hostile environment there, and it sounds like Luka is gonna take the Eurobasket by storm again, which starts here on September 1st. Slovenia looking to go back-to-back there, which I think they're one of the favorites to do right now.
Yeah, look, 5 round-robin games starting September 1st. One more World Cup quali game coming up Sunday against Germany. We'll see how that one turns out, and maybe another reaction video coming up on Monday. So be looking forward to that here on Mavericks Today. We'll keep tabs with Team Slovenia and Luka Doncic. Grade Luka's game. If you didn't watch, we didn't get to watch much, to be honest, because we couldn't find a stream, but you saw the stat line. Almost had a triple-double, 50% from the field. Give the man an A on today's show, and we will see you next time here at Mavericks Today.